All right, race fans, welcome to the Hammer Down Racing Series. Live coverage of the limited late model series here tonight. We have just over 24 drivers, appears right around that range, getting set to go here in qualifying right now. Currently sitting on the pole right now is Scott Dobbs with a 23.141. Howard Weaver in the 21, currently sitting in the second spot, followed by Ian Blanchard sitting third. Dylan Thomas currently sitting fourth, and Richard Swavely currently rounding out the top five. We're just under 2 minutes left to go here in qualifying before we get set to go with tonight's heat racing action. We're going to go 50 laps here at the USA Raceway. Big half mile in Lakeland, Florida. Temperature 90 degrees. Track starts out clean, carries over from qualifying through our heat races all the way throughout our feature events. So look for the track to slick it up and get pretty fast here later on tonight. Leo Pena in the 44 just took over quick time with a 23.141. His 23.141 just a little better than Scott Dobbs, who currently sits second on the charts right now with his 23.141. Howard Weaver sitting right behind them with a 23.181. So very close qualifying times here right now. Kendall Tucker just moved up to the third place spot over Howard Weaver with a 23.169 as we're under a minute left to go here in qualifying. Once again, we're going to run 4 heat races, followed by a C main and a B main, respectively, and then we'll go 50 laps of feature racing. Caution laps will not count tonight. Just under 30 seconds left here in qualifying. Currently sitting on the pole right now with a 23.141's Leo Pena. Scott Dobbs in the 29 car sitting second. Kendall Tucker third, Howard Weaver fourth, and Ian Blanchard currently sitting in the top 5. All right, qualifying wrapping up right now. These drivers ready to go for heat race number 1. 8 drivers will take the grid here in heat race number 1. Once again, we'll have 3 heat races here tonight. Top 4 drivers will transfer directly to tonight's feature event. And grading up right now here in heat race number 1, starting on the front row on the inside in the 44. He's your pole sitter tonight. He's also your limited late model points leader in the 44. It'll be Leo Pena. To his outside in the 21, it'll be Howard Weaver. Starting on the inside of row number 2 here in heat race number 1 in the 38 car will be Richard Swavely, and to his outside will be Darren Littrell in the 68 car. Starting on the inside of row number 3 in the 14 will be Eddie Underwood, and to his outside in the 011 will be Joey Reeder. And starting on the 4th and final row here in heat race number 1 in the 6 car will be Steve Durham, and to his outside in the 17 will be Willie Brown. 8 drivers, 10 laps to distance here in heat race number 1. Top 4 drivers will transfer directly to tonight's feature event. Rest of these drivers will have to come from C and B mains respectively. Looking for all the drivers to grid up, and the pace truck will take them around the racetrack 2 times before we get set to go green flag racing here in heat race number 1. Once again, race fans, we're live here on Hammer Down TV for the Hammer Down Racing Series limited late model event here tonight. Don't forget, following this, the Hammer Down Racing Series 360 sprint cars will be in action here later on tonight. Can't quite remember what track they're at tonight. They'll be running here at 8:30 Central Time. Be sure to tune in for that as well. Once again, pace truck taking them around 2 times. Leo Pena, Howard Weaver, your front row. Leo Pena, currently your Hammer Down Limited Late Models points leader. Ian Blanchard sitting second in points. He will start in heat race number 2. Long pace laps here. One of the longest tracks here on the Iracing circuit. Big half mile. Average lap time in the 23-second bracket. These drivers are all in a fixed setup, so it's all about the driver here tonight. These guys get set to go 10 laps of heat racing action next time out of turn number 4. Pace truck going down the back straightaway for the final time. Getting set to make that hard left-hand turn into the pits here in just a moment. Leo Pena, Howard Weaver, your front row here in heat race number 1. Pena on the inside, Weaver on the outside. Top 4 transfer directly to tonight's feature event. The rest will have to come from a C or B main respectively. Pace truck is in, and the green flag is out. We are underway here in heat race number 1. Pena and Weaver take them side by side in turn number 1. Pena is going to try to take the inside advantage and make the pass stick, and Weaver's going to come right back on the inside. Battle for the race lead here on lap number 1. Weaver is going to try to dive it back down on the inside in turn number 3. Pena is going to work that outside line as they're side by side for first and second, side by side for third and fourth as well, between Darren Littrell and Richard Swavely for the third and fourth place spots. Leo Pena holding off Howard Weaver as we got a spinner in the back. It looks to be the 38 car, Richard Swavely, getting turned around here on lap number 2. Yellow flag on the racetrack here. 10 laps to distance. Caution laps are on. Caution laps will count, looks like, here in the heat races. Leo Pena, Howard Weaver having a great battle right there for the race lead early on. Pena able to hold off Weaver here for the moment. Darren Littrell in the 68 car sitting in third. Tough break for the 38 car, Richard Swavely, as he was battling for that third and fourth place spots. Those were transfer spots for the feature event later on tonight. He'll have just a handful of laps to try to get back up there, make up some ground. If he wants to make the feature event here later on tonight. Once again, we're in heat race number 1 of 3 for the Hammer Down Limited Late Model Series here tonight. Don't forget, right after this will be the Hammer Down 360 Sprint Car Series. Leo Pena in the 44 leading Howard Weaver at the moment. Darren Littrell in third, and Eddie Underwood in the 14. He's currently sitting on the bubble here in heat race number 1. So they double them back up next time out of turn number 4. Looks like we might go back to green. Leo Pena in the 44, Howard Weaver in the 21. Looks like Eddie Underwood, he was sitting back there in 5th. He might be getting an end of the line penalty. That'll put Steve Durham in the 6th car. He'll be in that 4th and final transfer spot here in heat race number 1. Admins put the 14 of Eddie Underwood to the back. Pace truck getting set to pull in. We're going to go back to green flag racing halfway home here in heat race number 1. So we're coming up to lap number 6, 4 laps remaining here in heat race number 1. Green flag is back out. We are underway once again here in heat race number 1. Drag race to turn number 1 between Leo Pena, Howard Weaver. Pena looks like he's going to have the advantage again on the inside line. Weaver right there behind him. Here comes the 68 of Darren Littrell right behind Weaver. Littrell looks like he's going to take it to the outside to try to go around Weaver, but Weaver's going to look on the inside for the race lead over Leo Pena. Pena able to hold him off as they come here to lap number 7. 3 laps to go here in heat race number 1. Weaver sitting right behind Pena. Steve Durham in the 6th car holding on to that 4th and final transfer spot. He's got a big mirror full of the 011 of Joey Reeder. Reeder looking on the inside for the 4th place spot as they're single file 1 through 3 Side-by-side action right here for the fourth and final transfer spot. Steve Durham able to pull away from Reeder just a little bit as they're single file 1 through 4 right now. Leo Pena holding off the 21 of Howard Weaver. Darren Litchell sitting right there in third as they're nose to tail coming around to 2 laps to go this time. 2 more times around the racetrack for Leo Pena here in heat race number 1. Howard Weaver right there behind him in second. Going to see if he'll make a challenge for the race lead as they got 1.5 more laps remaining here in heat race number 1. Leo Pena is going to come out of turn number 3 and 4 and get the white flag. 1 more time around the racetrack for Leo Pena in the 44. Howard Weaver sitting second. Darren Litchell third. Steve Durham sitting in that 4th and final transfer spot as Weaver's going to dive down to the inside, trying to make it stick on down the back straightaway. Weaver's going to have 1 more shot to get around Pena right here in turn number 3 and 4. He's going to dive it down to the inside. Can he make the pass, stick it? They're side by side at the line. Leo Pena is going to take it by a nose here in heat race number 1. What a race right there between Howard Weaver and Leo Pena to start the night off here in heat race number 1. Leo Pena takes the win by .052 over Howard Weaver. Darren Litchell third, Steve Durham fourth. Joey Reeder, Richard Swavely, Eddie Underwood, and Willie Brown will round out the rest of the field. Coming up on heat race number 2 already. Once again, 8 drivers set to take the grid here in heat race number 2. Starting on the front row on the inside in the 29 will be Scott Dobbs. Into his outside in the 39 car, it'll be Ian Blanchard. Starting on the inside of row number 2 here in heat race number 2 in the 111 machine, it'll be Russell Snellings. Into his outside in the 30 car, it'll be Robert Schaefer. Starting on the inside of row number 3 in the 150 machine, it'll be Shane Myers. Into his outside in the 74, it'll be Blake Brown. Bringing up the rear all by himself here in heat race number 2, it'll be Brenton Hoff. Looks like Chris McGuire will not make the call. So that'll leave 7 drivers here in heat race number 2. Top 4 drivers will transfer directly to tonight's feature event. The rest will have to come from a B main respectively. Pace truck getting set to lead them around the racetrack 1 more time before we turn these guys loose for 10 more laps. Scott Dobbs, Ian Blanchard, your front row. Ian Blanchard currently sitting second in the points here at the Hammer Down Limited Late Model Series. Trying to gain some ground, but Leo Pena, your points leader, took home the heat race win in heat race number 1. So Ian Blanchard going to have some work cut out for him if he's going to try to catch Pena in the points. Pace truck getting set to make that hard left-hand turn into the pits as we get set to go green right here at a turn number 4. Scott Dobbs, Ian Blanchard, your front row. Russell Snellings, Robert Schaefer, second row. Shane Myers, Blake Brown, your third row. Green flag is out. We are underway here in heat race number 2. Ian Blanchard with a great jump on the outside. He's going to take the race lead down the front straightaway and into turn number 1. Scott Dobbs back to second. Here comes the 30 machine of Robert Schaefer up to third on the outside. Blanchard, what a great start from him on the outside as Scott Dobbs looks back on the inside for the race lead here down the front straightaway. Robert Schaefer sitting in the 3rd place spot, followed by Russell Snellings in the 111 machine. He gets passed by the 150 of Shane Myers, who moves up to the 4th and final transfer spot here in heat race number 2. But Ian Blanchard just over 0.2 of a second lead right now over Scott Dobbs, who currently sits second. Robert Schaefer 3rd, and Russell Snellings. Actually, Shane Myers holding on to that 4th and final transfer spot here at the moment. Snelling started 3rd. He's back to 6th. Single file racing 1st and 2nd right now. Here comes Shane Myers. He's on the inside of Robert Schaefer in the 30 car. He's challenging for that 3rd place spot. Myers started 5th. He's looking for the 3rd place spot here on lap number 4. Ian Blanchard coming around to halfway home this time. Actually coming up to lap number 5 this time, holding off Scott Dobbs into 29, just over 2/10 of a second lead right now for Ian Blanchard. Dobbs right there behind him. Blanchard used a great start on the initial green flag drop to pull away from Scott Dobbs, who started on the inside of the front row. Blanchard holding him off ever since as we're halfway home this time here at heat race number 2. Single file 1 through 4 right now. Blanchard, Dobbs, Schaefer, and Myers, your 4th and final transfer spot here in heat race number 2. Blake Brown, Russell Snellings, Brenton Hoff. Currently sitting 5th, 6th, and 7th. Chris McGuire also enters the racetrack. He was a late entry here in heat race number 2. He's 11 seconds behind, still on the lead lap though. Blanchard still holding on to the race lead, but Scott Dobbs is looking right there on the inside for the race lead. Blanchard still able to hold him off. They're going to come around to 2 laps to go this time out of turn number 4. Ian Blanchard getting the 2 to go signal right now, coming down the front straightaway. 8 more left-handed turns for Ian Blanchard into the 39 car. Scott Dobbs still right there trying to make a move for the race lead. Ian Blanchard going to come around to take the white flag one more time around the track. As Scott Dobbs, he's going to try to go make it work on the outside. Can't quite make the pass stick. He's going to go back to the inside, down the back straightaway, try to make something happen right here. Can't quite get the momentum down the back straightaway. Ian Blanchard able to hold him off right there. One more opportunity for Scott Dobbs right here in turn number 3 and 4. He's not going to be able to make the pass stick. And Ian Blanchard in the 39 car, he'll take home the win here in heat race number 2. Great drive by Ian Blanchard right there. Scott Dobbs put up a great battle for the race lead. Couldn't quite make it stick. He'll take home 2nd. Robert Schaefer 3rd. Shane Myers 4th. Blake Brown 5th. Russell Snelling 6th, Brenton Hoff 7th, and Chris McGuire round out the field in the 8th place spot. All right, we're coming up on our 3rd and final heat race already here for the Hammer Down Limited Late Model Series. 7 drivers set to take the grid here in heat race number 3. Kendall Tucker in the 00 machine. He'll lay him off on the front row on the inside. To the outside of him will be Dylan Thomas in the 3 car. Starting on the inside of row number 2 here in heat race number 3 in the 18 machine will be Chris Tucker. To his outside in the 967 will be Kevin Forcier. Starting on the inside of row number 5 in the 5 machine will be Dylan Petty, and to his outside in the 2 car will be Jason Shank. And bringing up the rear all by himself in the 022 machine, it'll be Brooks Trammell. 7 drivers, 10 laps to distance here in the 3rd and final heat race for our Hammer Down Racing Series limited late model series here tonight at the USA Raceway. Kendall Tucker, really good in all the late model series that he runs. Dylan Thomas set to lead him to the green next time at a turn number 4. Once again, we're live here on the Hammer Down Racing Series Limited Late Model Edition. Later on tonight, the Hammer Down 360 Sprint Car Series will be in action as well. Don't forget to tune into that here later on tonight. I believe 8:30 Central is the start time. These drivers go down the back straightaway for the final time here at heat race number 3 before we turn them loose for 10 laps of heat racing action. Our 3rd and final heat race. Kendall Tucker, Dylan Thomas, your front row. Pace truck getting set to pull in. Green flag is out. We are underway here in heat race number 3. Kendall Tucker Dylan Thomas. Thomas looks like he's going to get a good run on the outside. See if he can make the pass stick at turn number 1 and 2. Tucker's going to slide up just a little bit, move Thomas out of the groove, and Kendall Tucker will take the lead down the back straightaway. They're 3 and 4 wide right behind him. 18 car of Chris Tucker. He's going to move into second as they're almost 4 wide right there for third. Dylan Thomas, he started on the front row on the outside. He's back battling for the third place spot right now. He's trying to get around the 967 of Kevin Forcier to avoid dropping back to the fourth place spot. He's going to go back 2 positions right here as Forcier is going to move up into the third place spot, and Dylan Thomas, he'll drop back to fourth. Kendall Tucker in this 00 machine holding on to the race lead. Chris Tucker sitting right behind him in second. Kevin Forcier and Dylan Thomas, your 4 drivers currently locked into the feature event. Top 4 once again transfer directly to tonight's feature event. Single file, top 5 right now, pretty much all the way around the racetrack. Got to go back to the 5th place position of Jason Shank in the 2 car to find any type of battling right now as he's trying to find his way around Dylan Thomas. Once again, that's for the 4th and final transfer spot here in heat race number 3. Single file right now, but back up front, Chris Tucker has caught Kendall Tucker. He's right there behind him for the race lead. Coming around to halfway home this time on the front straightaway, Kendall Tucker holding off Chris Tucker for the race lead. A battle of Tuckers right here, 1 and 2. Kevin Forcier sitting 3rd, and Dylan Thomas holding on to that 4th place spot here at the moment. Jason Shank right behind him in 5th. Dylan Petty and Brooks Trammell currently sitting 6th and 7th, respectively. Six laps down, 4 laps remaining here in heat race number 3. Kendall Tucker currently sitting on the point right now with Chris Tucker right behind him. Dylan Thomas has caught Kevin Forcier once again, trying to work his way around back up to 3rd. Thomas started 2nd. He's back to 4th. Jason Shank sitting right there in 5th. He's looking for one of these drivers to kind of make some contact with one another, and that might be it right there. Shank going to try to go on the outside of Dylan Thomas this time. Thomas and Forcier make a little contact right there, allows Shank to pull up just a little bit closer. 3 more times around the racetrack for Kendall Tucker in the 00 machine. Still holding on to the race lead. Best battle on the racetrack right now is for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place spots. Jason Shank still trying to find a way around Dylan Thomas in the 3 car. As Kendall Tucker takes 2 laps to go this time. Actually takes the white flag this time. Kendall Tucker going to take it down the back straightaway for the final time here in heat race number 3 and go into turn number 3 and 4. And Kendall Tucker will come out of turn number 4 and be your heat race number 3 winner here for the Hammertown Limited Late Model Series here tonight. Chris Tucker will take home 2nd, Kevin Forcier 3rd, Dylan Thomas 4th, Jason Shank 5th, Dylan Petty 6th, and Brooks Trammell will round out the 7th and final position here in heat race number 3. All right, coming up on the racetrack right now, our B main for the Hammertown Limited Late Model Series here tonight. 11 drivers set to take the grid here tonight for the B main. Only 3 drivers will go home and load it up here tonight. Top 8 drivers will make the feature event here in just a little bit. Go ahead and read off the starting grid here for tonight's B main. Starting on the front row on the inside, the 011 machine will be Joey Reeder, and to his outside in the 74 to be Blake Brown. Starting on the inside of row number 2 will be Jason Shank, and to his outside, and the 38 machine will be Richard Swavely. Row number 3 will be Russell Snellings and Dylan Petty in the 5 machine. Russell Snellings in the 111 and Dylan Petty in the 5. Row number 4 will be Eddie Underwood in the 14 and Brenton Hoff in the 24. Starting inside row number 5 in the 022 machine will be Brooks Trammell. Just outside in the 17 will be Willie Brown. Bringing up the rear all by himself here in tonight's B main for our Hammerdale Limited Late Model Series. In the 92 will be Chris McGuire. 14 laps to distance. Top 8 drivers transfer directly to tonight's 50-lap feature event. Pace truck will lead them around the racetrack one more time before we turn these guys loose here for tonight's B main event. Once again, we're live here for the Hammerdale Limited Late Model Series here tonight at the USA Raceway, biggest racetrack on the iRacing circuit for the Dirt Series, big half-mile racetrack. Average lap times around here in the limited late models around the 23-second bracket. We're in the B main, 14 laps to distance. Top 8 drivers will transfer over directly to tonight's 50-lap feature event. Joey Reeder, Blake Brown lead them to the green right here out of turn number 4. Pace truck gets set to pull in. Green flag is out. We're underway here for tonight's B main for the Hammerdale Limited Late Model Series. Blake Brown, Joey Reeder leading them to turn number 1. Still side by side down the back straightaway. Side by side the first 3 rows still. No one can really get in it. 17 machine turned around on the back straightaway. That's Willie Brown as we stay green. Joey Reeder in the 011 is going to be able to pull away from the rest of the field just a little bit as Jason Shank, he moves up to 2nd. Blake Brown back to 3rd. Reeder all by himself, and they're side by side in the 2 rows right behind him, Shank and Brown, as well as Petty and Snellings. Petty in the 5 machine, he's going to look on the inside of Blake Brown, a little contact right there. Petty lets off the gas just a little bit to let him get going. But that allows Snellings on the outside to try to get around Dylan Petty in the 5 machine. Three laps down, 11 laps remaining here in tonight's B main event. Once again, top 8 drivers transferred directly to tonight's feature event. The guy sitting on the bubble right now, he started dead last. He's up to 8th in the 92 machine. That's Chris McGuire. McGuire, he's looking for more, though, as he's on the inside of the 24. Brenton Hoff, who sits in the 7th place spot. McGuire trying to get around him to make sure he transfers over to tonight's A main event. McGuire, he's going to try to pass 2 drivers right here. He's going to try to get around Underwood as well in the 14 machine. Is that Underwood? No, that's the 111 of Russell Snelling. Snelling's going to find himself on the bubble here in just a moment as he's battling with Chris McGuire and Brenton Hoff for that 8th and final transfer spot. Meanwhile, back up front, the 011 machine of Joey Reeder still holding on to the race lead, but here comes Jason Shank on the 2 car. He's found his way right on the rear bumper of Joey Reeder. And the battle is on for the race lead as Blake Brown has put himself in the picture for the race lead as well. Coming up to halfway home here in tonight's B main event. Joey Reeder still holding on to the race lead, followed by Jason Shank, Blake Brown, Dylan Petty, and Eddie Underwood, currently sitting in the 5th place spot. Chris McGuire started dead last. He's up to 6th. Russell Snelling 7th. And Brenton Hoff holding on to the 8th and final transfer spot at the moment. Brooks Trammell sitting in the outside looking in at the moment, sitting in the 9th place spot, followed by Richard Swavely and Willie Brown. All by himself in the 11th place spot here. But Joey Reeder still holding on to the race lead. 5 more times around the racetrack for Joey Reeder in the 011 machine. See if these drivers will be content on making to tonight's feature where they're at, or if they'll challenge for the race lead. Get a little aggressive right here towards the end of the race. Dylan Petty back on the inside of Blake Brown, looking for that third place spot as the rest of the field's pretty much single file, 1 through 8 right now. That's the closest side-by-side action. Three more times around the racetrack for Joey Reeder in the 011 machine. Jason Shank in the 2 car. Brenton Hoff in the 24 machine still holding on to that 8th and final transfer spot. He's actually lost some ground a little bit to the 7th place driver of Russell Snellings. And Brooks Trammell, he's closed the gap. He's within almost a second of Brenton Hoff right now as we have just 2 laps to go here for Joey Reeder in the 011 machine. Pretty much single file racing, the top 7 drivers right there all together. Looks like a big restrictor plate race right now, the way these guys are driving single file. Little contact right there between Blake Brown and Jason Shank, but they keep it straight, keep it going. As Reeder gets the white flag one more time around the racetrack for Joey Reeder. Brenton Hoff still holding on to the 8th and final transfer spot. Not sure Brooks Trammell's going to have enough time to catch him here on the final lap, but Joey Reeder is going to come out of turn number 4 and take home the win here in tonight's Hammer Down Racing Series Limited Late Model B main event. Jason Shank in 2nd, Blake Brown 3rd, Chris McGuire 4th, Dylan Petty 5th, Eddie Underwood 6th, Russell Snelling 7th, and Brenton Hoff will take home tonight's 8th and final transfer spot for tonight's B main event. Unfortunately for Brooks Trammell, Willie Brown, and Richard Swavely, their night will be done. All right, letting these drivers warm up right quick before we turn them loose for 50 laps of feature racing here in just a moment. See if we maybe can't get a driver or 2 down here to check it out, see how their night's going. Not sure if that's working for me just at the moment. Can't seem to quite figure that out. Not quite working for me at the moment. Once again, these drivers are getting set to grid up here for tonight's 50-lap feature event fair for the Hammer Down Limited Late Model Series here right now. 20 drivers set to take the grid here for tonight's feature event. I'll go ahead and read off the starting lineup here. Starting on the front row on the inside here for the Hammer Down Limited Late Model Series here feature event here tonight at the USA Raceway in the 44. It'll be Leo Pena to his outside. In the 39 machine, Ian Blanchard. Starting on the inside of row number 2 here tonight, it'll be the 00 machine of Kendall Tucker. And to his outside in the 21 will be Howard Weaver. Starting on the inside of row number 3 in the 29 machine will be Scott Dobbs. And to his outside in the 18 machine will be Chris Tucker. Starting on the inside of row number 4 here for the feature event tonight here at the USA Raceway, it'll be Darren Littrell. To his outside in the 30 machine will be Robert Schaefer. Starting on the inside of row number 5 in the 967 machine will be Kevin Forcier, and to his outside in the 6 car will be Steve Durham. Starting on the inside of row number 6 here tonight in the 150 machine will be Shane Myers, and to his outside in the 3 machine will be Dylan Thomas. Starting on the inside of row number 7 in the 011 machine, he was tonight's B main winner will be Joey Reeder, and to his outside the 2 car will be Jason Shank. Starting on the inside of row number 8 here tonight in the 74 machine will be Blake Brown, and to his outside will be Chris McGuire. Starting on the inside of row number 9, the 5 machine will be Dylan Petty, and to his outside the 14 will be Eddie Underwood. Starting on the 10th and final row on the inside here tonight, Hammer Down Racing Series A main event in the 111 machine will be Russell Snellings, and to his outside in the 24 will be Brenton Hoff. 20 drivers, 50 laps to distance here for the Hammer Down Racing Series feature event of the night for the limited late models. Pacetrack going to lead them around one more time before we turn these guys loose for 50 laps. Pacetrack is set to pull in Leo Pena, your current points leader for the limited late model series. Second in points, Ian Blanchard in the 39 machine. Your front row lead up to the green right here. Green flag is out. We are underway here for the Hammer Down Limited Late Model Series feature event of the night. Once again, already contact between the top 2, Ian Blanchard, Leo Pena. And Pena is going to lead him into turn number 1 as your race leader. 3 wide right there, almost for second. Howard Weaver on the outside back to 4th. Ian Blanchard sitting 2nd. Kendall Tucker 3rd. Howard Weaver back to 4th. Big battle right behind him for the 5th place spot. 3-car battle between Scott Dobbs, Chris Tucker, and a host of other drivers as well. Robert Schaefer right there in the mix as well. Pena going to lead. Still your race leader here on lap number 2. Ian Blanchard sitting 2nd. Kendall Tucker 3rd, and Howard Weaver sitting in the 4th place spot. Once again, 50 laps is the distance. Caution laps will not count. And we have a caution on the racetrack. Looking for the caution right now. It's like a couple of drivers right there involved, including the 2-car of Jason Shank. Looks like the 6-car, Steve Durham, gets turned around as well. A little contact between all those drivers. Yellow's back out. Yellow is out on the racetrack for the first time here tonight. Leo Pena, currently your race leader, followed by Ian Blanchard, sitting in the 2nd place spot. Kendall Tucker 3rd, Howard Weaver 4th, and Chris Tucker currently sitting in the top 5. Just a couple of laps down, these drivers will double them back up and go back to green flag racing here in just a moment. Leo Pena currently your race leader, Ian Blanchard second. These drivers currently your top two in point standings as well here at the Hammerdown Limited Late Model Series. Don't forget, race fans, later on tonight, the Hammerdown 360 Sprint Car Series will be in action as well. 8:30 Central. Be sure to tune in for that. We're doubling back up, getting set to go green right here. Leo Pena, Ian Blanchard. Pace truck getting set to pull in once again. Pace truck pulls in. Green flag is out. We are back on our way here. Feature event, Hammerdown Limited Late Model Series. Leo Pena is going to lead him back into turn number one. Kendall Tucker, he's going to dive it in on the inside of Ian Blanchard for the second place spot down the back straightaway. Yellow on the racetrack. Couple of drivers over in the wall over there in turn number 1 and 2, including the 5 car, looks like, of Dylan Petty. Once again, Jason Shank involved. Shank. Unfortunate circumstances for him. Nowhere to go. 5 car of Dylan Petty gets turned around, collects the 14 of Underwood, and Jason Shank. Nowhere to go, collects him as well. We are back under yellow. Only 1 lap complete, still 49 laps remaining here for tonight's 50-lap feature event for our limited late model series. Long way to go for these drivers. We'll rack them and stack them and try it again one more time here in just a few moments. All right, drivers doubling them back up right here. This time it'll be Leo Pena, Kendall Tucker, your front row. Ian Blanchard, Howard Weaver, the second row, set to lead them back to the green. Tucker found his way around Blanchard for the second place spot, so he'll restart on the front row on the outside this time as the pace truck gets set to pull in. Green flag is back out. We are back underway. 1 lap complete. 49 laps remaining here for the limited late model feature event of the night for the Hammerdown Racing Series. As Tucker and Pena side by side into turn number 1. Looks like Pena might get the advantage on the inside down the back straightaway. Not quite, though. Kendall Tucker able to stick with him side by side. Still into turn number 3 and 4. And we got a car upside down on the back straightaway. Go back towards the middle of the pack. Kind of see what happened here. Looks like the 150 machine of Shane Myers takes a wild ride right there on the restart down the back straightaway. A little contact between him and the 68 machine. And unfortunately for Shane Myers, he's going to have a lot of damage to that race car. See if he can't tag the rear of the field and join the rear of the field and make up some ground. He is now a lap down, though. All right, just getting word from the admins that we will restart this one single file. We go back to green. Kendall Tucker was credited as your race leader when that caution came out. He'll lead him back to the green. As your race leader, Leo Pena back to second, Howard Weaver third, Ian Blanchard sitting in the fourth place spot. So we got a new race leader in the 00 machine of Kendall Tucker. All right, pace truck should be pulling in this time out of turn number 4. These drivers are going to line it up single file and give it one more go. Once again, one lap complete, 49 laps remaining here for the limited late model feature event of the night. Don't forget, right after this, the Hammer Down 360 Sprint Car Series will be in action as well. Tune in to the Hammer Down Racing League right there on the Facebook page, Hammer Down TV, for all the action here later on tonight. Pace truck back in. Kendall Tucker lead them slowly to the green flag, but the green flag is out, and we are back underway here for tonight's Hammer Down feature event. Single file start right here. See if these drivers can't get a few laps in. Get some laps on the board. We have another yellow on the racetrack. Not quite sure what happened there. But nonetheless, we are back under yellow here for the Hammer Down Racing Series feature event of the night. One lap complete, 49 laps remaining. Once again, under yellow flag conditions, Kendall Tucker, your race leader, Leo Pena second, Howard Weaver third, Ian Blanchard fourth, and Robert Schaefer currently sitting in the top 5 at the moment. These guys will try to rack them and stack them right here. Give it one more shot. Single file restart. All these drivers on a fixed setup, so very similar in setups and speed-wise. Leads to a few bumps and bruises here and there. See if we can't get these drivers settled down right here, get a couple of laps under their belts, and get this feature event going. Pace truck pulling into the pitch right here. Kendall Tucker lead them back to the green right here. Leo Pena second, Howard Weaver third. Ian Blanchard fourth. Green flag is back out, and we are underway. Weaver's going to try to dive on the inside right here over Pena. That is for second. Here comes Ian Blanchard back on the outside. Gets a great run on Howard Weaver. As once again, we are under yellow. Looking for the culprit right here. It looks like, oh, the 3-car of Dylan Thomas gets a little loose going into the corner, and Dylan Petty right behind him. Couple of Dylans right there getting together, bringing out the yellow. All right, we'll try to get these drivers lined back up again, turn them back loose. Can't seem to quite get going. We're still stuck on lap number 1, 49 laps remaining. Kendall Tucker, your race leader. Leo Pena second, Howard Weaver in third. I believe a pace truck will lead them around the racetrack one more time before we go green flag racing. Leo Pena, your current Hammer Down Limited Late Model Series points leader, started on the pole. After a restart, Kendall Tucker was able to find his way around Pena. That's why Tucker currently sits in the lead. Ian Blanchard, second place here in the Limited Late Model Point Series, started on the outside of the front row. He's back there to fourth. Howard Weaver in the 21. He's moved up one position to third. Really not many laps to go by, though, as these drivers are itching to get a few laps in. Just a couple of incidents here and there. All right, it looks like the pace truck will not pull in this time. So next time out of turn number 4, we'll go back to green. Three drivers already out of the race. One lap complete. 49 laps remaining here for the Hammer Down Limited Late Model Series feature event of the night. Green flag, green flag. Pace truck gets set to pull back in here. Kendall Tucker, your race leader. Leo Pena sitting second. Pena leaving a little gap between him and Kendall Tucker. Quite surprising, but nonetheless, the green flag is back out, and we are back underway here for the Limited Late Model feature event of the night. Kendall Tucker is going to lead him down the back straightaway, followed by Pena, Weaver, Blanchard, and Robert Schaefer currently sitting in the top 5. See if we can't get a few laps in on the board right now. All right, finally 2 laps complete. 48 laps remaining as Howard Weaver is going to try to make it a 3-car battle for the race lead right here down the back straightaway. We got another yellow. All right, I see the 011 machine of Joey Reeder in the pit. See if something happened to him. Reeder looks like he may have just run out of gas. Reeder comes to a stall down the back straightaway. Maybe Joey Reeder ran out of gas. Not sure how that happens. Nonetheless, Joey Reeder in the 011 machine comes to a stop, brings out the yellow. All right, 2 laps on the board. Two laps on the board. Kendall Tucker still holding on to the race lead here for the moment. Unfortunate for these guys up front. Great battle brewing on the racetrack. Cautions have slowed it down just a bit. See if we can't get a couple of green flag laps on the board as these drivers are racking and stacking them in. And we'll try it again one more time. See if the pace truck will pull in right here and we can't get back underway here for the Hammer Down feature event here tonight for the Limited Late Model Series. Pace truck pulling in. Once again, Leo Pena leaving a little gap right there between him and Kendall Tucker. Quite surprising on the restart. It's almost a car length between him and Kendall Tucker, but the green flag is back out, and we are underway here for the feature event. Howard Weaver, he's going to dive down to the inside and take over that second place position from Leo Pena. Here comes Ian Blanchard on the inside of Pena for third. Blanchard's side by side with Pena, gets right there on the bumper of Howard Weaver as well, battling for the second place spot, but Blanchard still side by side for Pena. These guys are first and second in points as well. Could be a sign of things to come for the rest of the season. Meanwhile, back up front, Kendall Tucker still holding on to the race lead. Probably longest stretch of green flag racing we've had right here with a lap and a half. And as I say that, the yellow flag comes back out once again, and we are under caution. Not quite sure who that caution was on it just at the moment. All right, Kendall Tucker still holding on to the race lead. Howard Weaver was able to move up to second before that caution came out on that restart. Ian Blanchard up to third, Pena to fourth, and Chris Tucker back into the fifth place spot. Biggest mover on the racetrack, and in just a few laps we've had, Robert Schaefer started 18th. He's up to seventh. Actually, that's Eddie Underwood. He started 18th. He's up to second. Robert Schaefer's in sixth. Blake Brown started 15th. He's in the eighth place spot. We're going to go back to green, this time out of turn number 4, single file. Kendall Tucker, your race leader. We'll see if Howard Weaver in the 21 will leave the biggest gap as Leo Pena was leaving. Leo Pena was leaving just about a car length between him and Kendall Tucker on the initial restarts. We'll see what Weaver does right here. That pace truck getting set to pull back into the pits. Weaver right there on the bumper of Kendall Tucker as expected. Green flag is back out. We are back underway for the limited late model feature event of the night. Weaver right there all over Kendall Tucker for the race lead. Here comes Ian Blanchard on the inside of Weaver for second. Side by side down the back straightaway for second between Blanchard and Weaver. Kendall Tucker pulls away just a little bit. Here comes Blanchard. He's going to slide on the inside of Weaver for second. Weaver gets a little bit loose on the cushion on the outside. He'll lose another spot. Back to Pena. And here comes the 18 of Chris Tucker looking for fifth over Howard Weaver. Ian Blanchard in the 39 machine back up to second, but Kendall Tucker still holding on to the race lead. Howard Weaver back up to fourth. He's going to fight with Leo Pena back for that third place spot. Kendall Tucker, Blanchard, Pena, Weaver, Chris Tucker, your top five here at the moment. Single file all the way back behind him pretty much throughout the rest of the field. Weaver pretty much the only driver side by side right now with another driver, and that's for Leo Pena with third. Kendall Tucker with just over a half-second lead over Ian Blanchard. Weaver still in a big fight right now with Leo Pena. Pena gets a little loose right there. Might have had a little help from Weaver. Pena's going to fall all the way back to sixth. Weaver up to third. Pena's going to fight back on the outside. Try to gain some ground back. Pena's got the 30 machine of Robert Schaefer, as well as the 14 of Eddie Underwood all over him now. As Pena's back to fifth. Meanwhile, Kendall Tucker still holding on to the race lead, but Ian Blanchard has closed the gap rather quickly. It was just over a half a second. Now it's just above 3/10, under 4/10, right around that range. So Blanchard has cut off around a tenth of a second lead over Kendall Tucker. 20 laps remaining here for the Hammerdown Limited Late Model feature event of the night, coming around to 19 to go this time. Once again, 19 laps remaining. Kendall Tucker still holding on to the race lead. Howard Weaver sitting back there in third. Chris Tucker fourth, and Robert Schaefer currently sitting in the fifth spot. Leo Pena back to sixth. Pena's about a second and a half away from fifth now as he's dropped a bunch since the initial start. Started on the pole, back to sixth. Pretty much single file racing right now, 1 through 5. Got to go back to about middle of the pack, actually, 9th, 10th, and 11th, right around in there to find some side-by-side action. And that's where you'll find the 92 machine of Chris McGuire. He started 16th. He's up to 9th. Well as the 967 of Kevin Forcier right there as well as the 3-car of Dylan Thomas, all battling for 8th, 9th, and 10th respectively. Blake Brown sitting back there in 11th as well. Meanwhile, back up front, still pretty much a 2-car battle for the race lead. Ian Blanchard right there within 0.3 of a second of Kendall Tucker. Howard Weaver sitting 2 seconds behind in third. Blanchard really the only challenge for Kendall Tucker right here at the moment. 15 laps to go here in the limited late model feature event of the night. These two drivers have separated themselves from the rest of the field. $14 laps to go for Kendall Tucker in the double zero machine. Just over 3/10 of a second lead, almost 4/10 of a second lead over Ian Blanchard in the 39. Blanchard came in second in the Hammerdown Limited Late Model Series point standings. Leo Pena, he was your pole sitter. He came in leading the point standings. He's sitting back there in sixth. So Ian Blanchard having a great points night as well as challenging for the race lead. Just over 10 laps to go here. Kendall Tucker still holding on to the race lead. Ian Blanchard second, Howard Weaver third, Chris Tucker fourth, Robert Schaefer sitting in the fifth spot. Biggest mover of the night so far, Eddie Underwood started 18th. He's up to 7th. He's right behind Leo Pena, who sits in the 6th place spot. Chris McGuire, he started 16th. He's up to 8th. Pretty much single file racing right now. Meanwhile, Chris Tucker in the 18 machine, he's going to find his way around Howard, and that's for third. Tucker working that inside bottom of the racetrack. Weaver still working the outside lane. He might get passed right here by the 30 of Robert Schaefer as well. 10 laps to go this time. It's Kendall Tucker 10 more times around the racetrack to take home here tonight's feature win. Tucker stretched his lead by just over 1/10 of a second over Ian Blanchard the last few laps. It's almost a half second now. It was down to 3/10 just a few laps ago, but it's just about a half a second now. Tucker stretching the distance. Chris Tucker up to third. They're 4 seconds back from these two guys. So not much of a challenge for Kendall Tucker and Ian Blanchard, as these guys will have less than 10 laps to duke it out for the race win. Kendall Tucker still holding on to the race lead right here. Ian Blanchard second. Chris Tucker third. Howard Weaver fourth. Maybe a little contact right there between Weaver and Robert Schaefer in the 30 machine. That'll allow Pena to try to sneak back up into the top 5 as well, as they're 3 wide for fourth. Weaver still working the outside lane. Pena on the outside lane. They're going to try to roll on by the 30 machine of Robert Schaefer, who drops back to 6th. Back up front, Kendall Tucker, just a little under a half second lead over Ian Blanchard and the 39 machine. We're nearing the 5 lap to go marker for Kendall Tucker. Five laps to go for Kendall Tucker in the 00 machine. He's got 5 more laps to take home tonight's limited late model feature win of the night. Ian Blanchard sitting back there in second. Chris Tucker third, just about 5 seconds back. Howard Weaver fourth, about 5.5 seconds back. And Leo Pena sitting fifth, right there behind Howard Weaver. But Kendall Tucker takes 4 laps to go this time. 4 more times around the racetrack. Ian Blanchard trying to close the gap. Will he have any? Kendall Tucker. Tucker looking very strong, coming around to 3 laps to go this time out of turn number 4. 3 more times around the racetrack for Kendall Tucker in the 00 machine. Top 2 have separated themselves from the rest of the field. Being told by race admins that we have 2 laps to go. Kendall Tucker coming around. Leave us the white flying lap one more time around the racetrack for Kendall Tucker in the 00 machine. Ian Blanchard sitting right there in second. Tucker stretched his lead just about 0.8 of a second. It's not going to have anything for Kendall Tucker. It's not going to be. Kendall Tucker looks like he's going to come out of turn number 4 and take home the win here in the limited late model feature event of the night. Ian Blanchard will take home second. Chris Tucker third. Howard Weaver in fourth. Leo Pena fifth. Robert Schaefer 6th, Chris McGuire 7th, Eddie Underwood 8th, Blake Brown in 9th, and Kevin Forcier round out the top 10. What a drive by Kendall Tucker. Got the lead on the initial restart of the race and leads from there pretty much uncontested. Very strong performance from Kendall Tucker. Ian Blanchard in the 39 machine, great run for him as well. Also was sitting second in points coming into tonight. Got to be happy with his finish as well. We'll see if we can't get a couple of these guys in here for an interview here in just a few moments. All right, we'll start off. We'll pull up our third place finisher here tonight, Chris Tucker in the 5 machine. He'll take home a strong third place finish. Chris, is Tommy in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Got a copy, man.
All right, you started 6th. You wind up with a solid third place finish tonight. How was the track and how was the car, man?
Well, I'll tell you, once we got through 30 laps of cautions and got to clean the tires off a little bit, felt good. We felt like it was getting a little bit of grip on the outside, and then it took the inside line against my man Howard Weaver. Shout out to him, guy that got me back in this game, but took him on the inside and felt pretty strong finishing those last few laps.
All right, yeah, you started 6th. You were able to work your way through traffic, and seems like you had a pretty strong car. Where was the car working at? Was it working on the outside, the inside? How was it working?
I felt like when we got up and going that 1 and 2 was more so on the inside shooting, and then 3 and 4 was hanging right off the tacky on the outside. So it was a little bit of, we were sort of, searching around to find grip, and handled well. I mean, I wish we could have got, more green laps in, went smoother tonight, but is what it is sometimes.
Well, Chris, that was a very strong, impressive run by you, man. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go here tonight?
Well, shout out to Hammer Down guys, Robert Bellinger, all of them do a good job running this league. And thanks to Howard Weaver, like I said, for getting me in this gig. Team VLR and Glock Perfection. And just appreciate you for announcing, and had fun tonight.
Well, Chris, congratulations. Great run and impressive performance, and hope to see you in the future, man.
Will do. See you.
All right, next to pull in here is Ian Blanchard, tonight's second place finisher for the Hammer Down Limited Late Model Feature Series of the night. Ian, strong second place finish. Once again, how was the track? How was the car, man?
That was a fun track. I mean, it really started slicking off there near the end. Those caution laps really killed the race at the beginning, I think. Nobody could really get in the groove. But, I mean, all in all, it was a fun night. I wish we would have been able to get some more green laps early on, though.
Well, man, you came in here second in the points. You have a strong run tonight. Finish ahead of Leo Pena. Are you going to stick around for points? And obviously a great points night for you.
Yeah, I should be here weekly. I mean, it's a night I'm off school. I got nothing going on, so you should see me here weekly. I just love running these limited late models, and it's hard to find a good league to run them in. So I just come over here, have some fun every week, see what I can do. That's all. Don't expect much. Just come and have some fun.
Well, it seems like you and Kendall were able to run away from the rest of the field, pretty much gapped the field almost 5 seconds between the two of you guys. How were you able to do it?
I was just trying to stay consistent there and smooth. I mean, the last few weeks, I feel like I've been pretty quick, been a top 3, top 5 car. And honestly, I think I might have had a shot there at him. I got up to him about 2/10 off of him, and I waited too long to try the bottom there. I think if I would have tried the bottom, I might have had a shot at him. But, it was I didn't even really notice how far we pulled away until the end there. I was just kind of running my line, just kind of keep Kendall there in my crosshairs. And unluckily, I didn't get to him close enough, but hey, we tried.
Once again, Ian Blanchard in the 39, tonight's second place finisher. Very impressive performance. Anybody you want to thank before you get out of here, man?
I got to thank Team VLR, Jonathan Schumler Race Cars, Hammer Down for putting the league on, and all you guys up in the booth there. Thanks for putting this on.
All right. Once again, that's Ian Blanchard, tonight's second place finisher here for the Hammer Down Limited Late Model Series. See if we can't bring up our feature winner of the night, Kendall Tucker, see if he's still in the room. Well, it looks like Kendall may have disappeared. Do not see Kendall Tucker, still left in the room. All right, Kendall Tucker, it's Tommy in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir. All
right, you take home tonight's feature win. You took the lead early on one of those restarts and led pretty much the rest of the way. Dominant performance tonight. How'd you do it, man?
Yeah, I kind of got myself behind there in qualifying. Running these fixed setups, you need to at least put it on the front row at least, and got a P3 start in my heat, ended up winning it. So I rolled off third in the main, and was able to pick off Ian there on that second restart. And me and my good buddy Leo, we had a good battle there for that lap. We got to battle. We were side by side for the about that entire lap for the caution came out, and he gave me the lead. And from then on out, I was just watching Howard in the standings box. I knew he was coming up through there and stuff. Hate that for him having a little bad luck, but I was definitely worried about him for sure. The car handled real well. The track it really widened out there as we finally got some green flag laps in. But yeah, I really was just trying to just keep a fine line in. I mean, these cars, I mean, they're just so down on horsepower. You really have to focus in, keep that thing really straight, and try not to get any wheel spin. But it was just a really good night for this HRE Motorsports Longhorn chassis Dirt All Access. And got to give a shout out to my friend Cheyenne. She was watching tonight. Glad she was able to see a win.
All right. Well, Kendall, you pretty much said it all right there in the interview. Once again, congratulations, man. Very impressive performance here tonight. And good luck, buddy, and hope to see you once again in the future here at the Hammer Down Racing Series.
All right. And as always, thank you for broadcasting, and thanks to Hammer Down for putting this on for us.
Always, man. I want to give a shout out to Hammer Down for having me here tonight in the booth. It's been a pleasure. Always a pleasure calling these events here tonight. Hope to be back for plenty more later on down the road. Don't forget to tune in for the Hammer Down 360 Sprint Car Series coming up here in just a little bit. I believe it's actually a minute or two from now. So tune in for the Hammer Down Facebook page for that. But this is Tommy Rowe in the booth with the Hammer Down Limited Late Model Series. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And until next time, good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the season 5 of these 360 sprint cars here for the Hammer Down Racing League. Getting ready to go here. We are qualifying currently. The 31 of Austin Sullivan right now, currently sitting in top right now with 11.362. And of course, we are tonight here at the Limerland Motorsports Park here for race number 8. And points are starting to heat up as we are getting close to the end of the season. I believe it's an 8-week season. So this season should be wrapping up here pretty soon. Right now, Brett Wheeler still in your points lead. He's got 107 points right now. And Braden Eller pretty close behind him. Braden Eller also sitting second on the board with an 11.407. Brett Wheeler in third place with an 11.437. So Brett Wheeler still holding on to the points lead right now. He's got a 7-point gap right now. And with the smaller car count we have here tonight, it's going to be interesting to see if Braden can get around him. Definitely needed that quick qualifier time, but it looks like Austin's going to hold on to it right now. As qualifying should be wrapping up here. It looks like all of our drivers here tonight have timed in. And here right before, we will go through your weather as we always do here. It's mostly cloudy right now, afternoon. 86 degrees outside. Track sitting at 89 degrees. Wind's coming in from the southwest at about 4 miles per hour right now. So should be interesting here tonight. A little bit hotter than I'm sure these drivers are used to, with the temperature being just a little bit hotter. So we will have to see. As it looks like we've got about a minute left in qualifying. Each driver did get 2 laps to time in. And Austin Sullivan right now still sitting atop. Braden Eller in the second spot. Brett Wheeler third. Matthew Williams in fourth. And Scott Bellum in fifth. And rolling through your points once again, Ryan Martin, who I'm not seeing on the board right now, is currently sitting third in points with 89 points. That is the 024. And Scott Bellum in the 717 sitting fourth in points. And he's sitting fifth on the board here tonight. And rounding out your top 5 in points is Dakota Kuhn, which he is sitting just a couple spots down below Scott there. Scott, of course, in the 5th spot. Dakota in the 9th spot right now. So it should be interesting to see. As we only have... It looks like we only have 9 drivers, so Dakota in 8th, actually. So 9 drivers signed in here tonight. As it does look like we have gone ahead in advance. We're getting ready for heat race number 1. And there will be only one heat race here tonight. So heat race number 1, everybody will make the feature, of course, with only 9 cars signed in. And your lineup will go as follows. The 31 of Austin Sullivan will roll off on the pole. And the 005 of Braden Eller to his outside in second spot. Inside row number 2 will be the 56 of Brett Wheeler, and to his outside, the 013 of Matthew Williams. Inside row number 3 will be the 717 of Scott Bellum, and to his outside, the 58 of Tyler Reed. Inside row number 4 will be the 7 of Howard Weaver, and to his outside, the 95 of Dakota Kuhn. And rounding out your field here tonight in the 23, that is Jonathan Smith. So 9 drivers signed in here. Getting ready to go green for heat race number 1. Getting ready to roll out. Looks like we are still waiting on 1 driver to grid. And that is the 58 of Tyler Reed. So it should be interesting to see here tonight. Austin rolling off from the pole. We've seen him lead a couple times here this season for season 5. We saw him lead there at Eldora earlier in the season. Got into a little bit of an incident. If you did miss that race, be sure to go back and watch it. It was a very, very entertaining race. Austin and a couple of other drivers putting on a show. And Austin, unfortunately, got tangled up with some lap traffic and ended his night early. So Austin, I'm not sure if we saw him since. So could be looking for a little bit of redemption here tonight and put it in victory lane. And we're going to have to keep an eye on your second and third place as well. Two very talented drivers. And your top two in points. Brett Wheeler, of course, with the point lead. Still waiting on the 58 of Tyler Reed to grid up. So we can roll out for your 2 to green. And it does not look like he will make the call. So Tyler Reed missing the call for this heat race. The lone heat race of the night. Rolling down the back straightaway. This is a small little track. Should be interesting to see here tonight. Small car count can make for some great racing. And that will move Dakota Kuhn up to the 6th position for this heat race. As Pace Truck will be ducking in this time down the back straightaway. And looks like Tyler Reed has gridded up, but he will have to come out of the pits. Now we are green flag out of turn number 4. Austin with a great start there. Braden going to try to go to work on the outside. Brett going to try to put himself in there as well. Try to get a good starting spot for the feature here tonight. Brett's still running in third. Looks like we got a battle developing back here for the 4th spot. That's Howard Weaver and Scott Bellum back there. Matthew's going to try to put his name in here as well, as he's going to get around Scott. He'll move into the 5th spot. Howard's going to settle into 4th. Looks like about your top 6 have evened out in a row. Battle back there for 7th. Not sure who will get that position. But out front, Austin still leading. Very controlled. Looks like a lot of drivers running the bottom side of the track right now. Braden running just a little bit higher than the rest. We'll see if that works for him here. 10-lap heat race here. That was the halfway point. Austin still out front, holding about a 0.6 of a second lead. Everybody evened out. Braden in 2nd, Brett Wheeler in 3rd. Brett, of course, just needing a solid night to hold the points lead. And Braden trying to make a statement and get a win here tonight. Looks like Weaver's starting to run down your 3rd place runner. We'll see if Weaver's able to put a move here. We've only got a couple laps to go, 2 at the line. Brett holding on to it for now, though. As Brett's going to go to the top side, it's going to open the door down low for Howard Weaver. Could not make it bite there. Should be interesting to see out of turn number 4. Weaver to the back bumper. He's going to go to the outside. It's the best battle on the racetrack right now. Weaver to the back bumper. To the inside. Slide job down in 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, Brett Wheeler will have him at the line. Great battle for 3rd there in heat race number 1. And that was a battle for the 3rd spot on the racetrack. Austin Sullivan able to bring it home as he held off Braden Eller. Braden Eller was running some quicker lap times there. But Brett Wheeler able to hold off Howard Weaver there. As your feature, that will be your feature lineup here tonight. As we do have a 2-minute warm-up that has just getting ready to start here. The driver's getting ready to roll out and get ready for the feature here tonight. Should be a short race here tonight, as we are already in your warm-up session. It looks like we got a couple drivers rolling out now, getting ready. Have to keep an eye on the lap times. I'll try to do my best to keep an eye on them. See who is running the faster laps. It looks like Howard Weaver is the only one to lay down a time so far. But drastic changes to the weather so far here tonight. We started out pretty warm. And with the clouds rolling in, the temperature's already dropped down to 80 degrees. Track's already down to 83. Wind has changed as well, coming in from the northwest now at about 4 or 5 miles per hour. So interesting tidbit there. As we do have a race next week. The 360s will invade Lanier. For a race at Lanier, that will follow the limited lates as always. And be sure, while we got a little bit of time here, to be sure to tune in tomorrow night as well, as we have back-to-back shows tomorrow night. And that will be the Pro Lates at Volusia and the Super Lates at Eldora. So Hammer Down TV will bring you those as well tomorrow night. So be sure to tune in for those. As it looks like we have begun gridding for your feature race here tonight. And your feature lineup will go as follows. 31 of Austin Sullivan rolling off from the pole. And 2 is outside, the 005 of Braden Eller. Inside row number 2 will be the 56 of Brett Wheeler. And 2 is outside will be the 7 of Howard Weaver. Inside row number 3 will be the 013 of Matthew Williams. And 2 is outside, the 717 of Scott Bellum. Inside row number 4 will be the 23 of Jonathan Smith. And 2 is outside, the 95 of Dakota Kuhn. And rounding out your field in row number 5 will be the 58 of Tyler Reed. So it looks like we are currently waiting on a couple drivers to get in here. Looks like we are waiting on Dakota Kuhn and Tyler Reed, but it does look like they have put him on a trailer maybe. Dakota Kuhn no longer in here. So Dakota going ahead and calling it a night. As Tyler Reed has gridded up, but he will have to come out of the pits once again. Our driver's getting the 1 to green signal here. 7 cars on the racetrack. Who's going to bring it home here tonight at the Lima Land Motorsports Park? Can Austin hold off Braden? Does Weaver maybe have something for him? We saw last week, we saw a driver come from the back of the field. Could maybe Jonathan Smith get up there and mix it up with him? Out of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. Down the front straightaway, Braden with a great start. He's going to go to the top side, going to try to get a run out of turn number 2. Door to door, down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Austin will slide up the track. Braden to his back bumper. Howard putting himself in the battle. Howard to the inside, Austin to the outside. Battle for first on the racetrack. Austin will hold it for now. Lap traffic apparently an issue. Tyler pulling out right in front of your leaders. Austin's going to hold on to it for now. Howard will settle into second. Braden will settle into third. There's your top 4 all single file right now. All running a little bit higher on the track than we saw them running there in the heat race. Austin out front right now. Matthew going to try. Looks like he's going to try to battle for 4th now. He's going to look to the inside of Brett Wheeler. Brett's going to slide up the track. Looks like he's able to hold on to it here. Coming out of turn number 2, Matthew Williams now up to 4th. That's going to put Brett back into the 5th position. We'll see if Matthew maybe has something for him here tonight. But out front, your leader still Austin Sullivan. As he's got a 6/10 of a second lead right now over Howard Weaver. Howard working the very top side of the track, trying to keep the momentum up. Sullivan working more towards the bottom of the track, trying to keep the grip down low. Weaver running really good up top. That last time by, he closed the gap to 5/10. This time by, we'll see what it is. At the line, 3/10. As Howard's in the wall. Howard's going to get in the wall in turns 1 and 2, and that's going to open up a huge gap for Austin. Austin can almost put it in cruise control at this moment. Maybe save a little fuel for later in the feature. Braden out to the back bumper of Howard Weaver. We'll see if Braden has something. As a gap to your leader right now, just over a second. 1.1 currently. As Howard's going to try the bottom of the track, see if there's any grip down there. That time by, Howard's closed the gap. Just under a second now. It does look like Jonathan Smith has put it on the trailer for the evening. He has officially retired from the event. Austin Sullivan still out front. Howard trying to close the gap. We'll see what it is this time by. And it's down to just under 0.8. Howard reeling in your leader right now. 15 laps in the books, currently working lap number 16. Howard trying everything he can to get to the back bumper. Maybe try a move. This time by, gap down to 0.4. Howard's coming. Austin being very careful here, not wanting to give up too much. Weaver's going to go to the inside on 1 and 2. Slide job out of turn number 2. Austin back to the inside. He'll slide up the track. Weaver going to look back to the inside down the front straightaway. Down into turn 1 and 2. Weaver going to slide up out of 2. Austin going to look back to the inside. Does he have enough here? He'll slide him in 3 and 4. Weaver back to the inside. Great battle for your race lead. Braden Eller now putting his name in there. Weaver now back to the lead. Austin back to the inside here in 3 and 4. Exchanging slide jobs here. Weaver going to lead that lap. He's going to try to keep it a little lower, try to keep a little bit more. Austin back to the inside. Braden all over the back bumper now. 3-car battle for your race lead. Weaver going to slide up out of 2. Austin going to look back to the inside. Once again, slide job back into 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, Weaver back to the inside. Braden's going to go to the inside now. Does he have enough? And he'll slide up, and he's going to be able to hold on to it. Weaver now your race leader. Eller now into second. He's going to hold off Sullivan there. Braden's still running second. Austin going to try to get around. He's down here in 3 and 4. Slide job. Braden back to the inside. Braden solidly in second now, it looks like. Weaver into your race lead. Working the top side of the track, your top 3 still looking. The battle will continue. You can be sure of that. Weaver running just a little bit lower than your second and third place. Eller going to look to the inside. Slide job in 1 and 2. Braden Eller now trying to battle for your race lead. Weaver back to the inside. Eller's going to go back to the top. Austin's going to go to the bottom. Eller will hold on to second, down into 1 and 2. Once again, slide job. Does he have enough this time? Weaver back to the inside. Eller working the top side. Weaver sliding up the track. Eller's going to hold on to it. Weaver going to try to slide up here a little bit. Eller to your race lead. He's able to pull him. Now Austin going to battle back to second. Austin back into second. Braden Eller, your new race leader. Top 3 still battling. Austin looking for an opportunity here. Still running in the second spot. As we have a caution on the speedway. Not sure what happened there. A couple drivers were slow. See if I can go back and take a look at it. Looks like Tyler Reed got a little bit sideways. Ended up getting upside down. What a battle for your race lead, though. Braden Eller, Austin Sullivan, and Howard Weaver putting on a show here tonight. Braden Eller holding on to it for now, though. As it looks like we will be single file, if I'm not mistaken. But what a battle for your race lead right now. As Tyler Reed using that to his advantage. You are allowed 1 fast repair and a wave around. So he's going to go ahead and take his fast repair and wave. As it looks like we will be going double file for this restart. Pace truck is pulling in. Green flag once again. Both of your top 2 with a good start. Eller's going to slide up the track. And Sullivan is there. He's going to take the race lead. Brett Wheeler now into third. Brett's going to try to put himself into this battle. Sullivan out front, Eller in second. Weaver now battling for third. And it looks like Brett Wheeler's going to hold on to third now. Brett working the top side of the track now. He's going to hold up a little bit. That's going to open up a gap to your top two. Eller now trying to run down Austin. Not a whole lot of time left. Austin still holding on to your race lead. Eller still in second. Brett Wheeler up to third. Not a huge gap, but significant. 5/10 separate your top two right now. Eller trying to find a way. Running that top side of the track, trying to get the momentum. This time by down to 4/10. Race control saying 5 laps to go, so coming around this will be 4 to go. Does Eller have enough time? Lead has pretty much stayed the same here. Coming around for 3 to go. Eller trying to find a way. Selman still holding strong out front though. Difference not changing much. Looks like Eller is getting a better run through 1 and 2. At the line that was 2 to go. So coming around will be your white flag. Eller gonna go to the inside. Out of 4, Sullivan back to the inside. White flag in the air. Eller's got 1 more lap to get it done. Out of turn number 2 to the back bumper. He's got to do it here. To the inside, slide job, sliding up the track. They're going to touch. Austin's going to hold on. Braden Eller will bring it home second. What a battle for your race lead there. Austin able to hold on to it. Braden Eller putting up a huge fight, though. Brett Wheeler bringing it home in third. Matthew Williams in the 4th spot. Howard Weaver in the 5th spot. Tyler Reed comes home 6th. Scott Bellum in 7th. Jonathan Smith in 8th. And Dakota Kuhn in the 9th spot. So what a battle here tonight. As we'll get ready to talk to your top 3 here tonight for your typical driver interviews. And we'll kick off things with your 3rd place finisher, Brett Wheeler. And Brett, great run from you here tonight. Looked like they're late in the race when the top side started to come in. Looked like your car came to life. You think if there's a couple more laps, you could have had something?
Not a chance. I was really horrible tonight. I'm not even getting full throttle on these hand controls. So I mean, I was just kind of there just to survive, and I guess lucky to come away with a 3rd.
Well, even after tonight, you'll still hold on to the points lead. And coming home with a 3rd place finish, good points tonight. You got to feel happy about that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Just trying to finish these races, as high up as we can, and as close to Braden. Hopefully, sometimes we can, put this 56 in front of Braden a few times throughout the rest of the series. But it's all about just trying to gather points, and that's how you win championships, just by finishing up near the front.
Well, strong run for me here tonight in the 3rd spot. And, of course, as always, want to give you the chance to shout out all the people to help you out.
Of course, Wicked Cushion, Ultimate Dirt TV, JR Productions and Media, and everyone at Hammer Down and Hammer Down TV. You guys do a fantastic job, so thanks.
Well, that was your 3rd place finisher, Brett Wheeler. Now we'll get ready to talk to your 2nd place finisher. And Braden, what a great run from you. Y'all mixed it up for the lead. Thought maybe they're coming into 3 on that final lap. Thought you might have had something. Did you maybe let up a little bit? Maybe not slide up the whole track?
Yeah, going in the corner on that last lap, I was thought I had a good enough run to clear a slider on and maybe have a chance at the race, but I didn't really have enough momentum. He kind of got into the side of me and went around me, but that was me. But Austin deserved that one. He earned it.
Well, heck of a battle up there between you, Austin, and Howard, of course. Couple times there, it looked like maybe you might, if you could just get out front, be able to pull away. Was it just the top side of the track that was working so well for you?
Yeah, that was about the only lane that was really there most of the race. The track didn't really have an opportunity to slick off enough to where the bottom would come back in.
Well, another strong run from you. Second in points. You gained just a little bit on Brett, but we want to give you this opportunity to shout out all the people that help you out.
Yep. Shout out to everyone at Hammer Down for putting this on. Brett at Ultimate Dirt TV and everyone at Black Diamond for all the hard work, and also Terry Rendert for the awesome paint. It looks great.
Well, strong run from you, and we'll see you next week at Lanier.
All right. See you.
So that was your second place finisher there, Braden Eller. And it does not look like Austin is here. Looked like he might have gotten out of here a little bit early. So it does not look like we will get a chance to talk to your winner here tonight. But a great race here tonight. If you did enjoy it, be sure to let us know. If you are watching on YouTube, drop a like, drop a subscribe. If you are watching on Facebook, be sure to drop a like. Leave a comment as well. We always like hearing from the fans. Always like hearing what you all like, what you all don't like, and what you think we could improve on possibly. Now, we always like to hear the feedback. Now, from all of us here at Hammer Down TV, we will see you tomorrow night for the pros and the super late models. Should be great racing action coming to you there. And we will see you back here next week for the 360s at Lanier.